and gentlemen, we present Freshlight, where we bring fresh newspaper headlines to the limelight. Mondays to Saturdays, 8:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Al-IyamoyeTv and radio. Watch, like, subscribe, and make sure your notification is activated on our YouTube channel. You can also like and comment on our pages on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Al-IyamoyeTv and radio.
Beautiful morning from this side. It is Al-IyamoyeTv and radio. I say welcome to Freshlight, where we save you the stress of flipping through these newspaper pages as been published today. We peruse those papers from the cover to the interesting stories, one after the other. I remain OLUWAFISAYOMI, AJIBOLA. I say good morning and welcome to Freshlight. This morning on Freshlight, we'll be giving attention to newspapers like The Punch, The Vanguard, The Nation, and Daily Trust, one after the other. Let's start from the far north. That is the Daily Trust. On the cover of Daily Trust, you will see this story. Virtually all dailies this morning has the drama that happened at the court premises between the correctional centers and also the DSS after the a former CBN governor, Godwin Emefiele, was granted bail. You will see the picture of how these security officers were dragging it, slugging it out for who should be in custody of the man Emefiele. Also, let's look at those stories on the cover page of Daily Trust. Petrol price hike, no plan to reduce work days. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is yet to send the list of his ministerial nominees to the Senate for screening and confirmation 48 hours before the deadline, Daily Trust report. The delay by the president to unveil his cabinet had heightened expectations from Nigerians who are keenly waiting for the list of ministers that would assist the president to deliver his renewed hope agenda. Tinubu has till Friday, July 28th to submit the list to the Senate in line with Section 42A of the Constitution, which states that the nominations of any person to the office of a minister for confirmation by the Senate shall be done within the 60 days after the day the president has taken oath of office. 48 hours to deadline, Tinubu yet to send ministerial list to National Assembly. That also It's on Daily Trust. Still on Daily Trust, Yobe train 76 workers in government policies implementation. The Yobe State government has sponsored the training of 76 officers in the Directorate and Senior Officers of the Administration Staff College of Nigeria ASCON in Lagos. The Yobe State head of the civil service, Alhaji Bilal, who disclosed this at the brief farewell ceremony in Damaturu, said the training was meant to enhance and promote efficiency for improved service delivery. Bilal said the administrations of Governor May Malaboni has since inception considered training and retraining of civil servants as the greatest tool in facing modern challenges in the implementations of government policies and programs. Yobe trained 76 workers in government policies implementation. Okay, let's look at another story. Family of woman beaten to death in Oka Hotel petition police. On the Metro page of Daily Trust, we have the story. Family of woman beaten to death in Oka Hotel petition police. Okay, let's quickly look at the details of this story one after the other. The family of the woman Chinyere Awuda, who was beaten to death in Cosmila Hotel, Oka, Anambra State on July 16, and the body dumped in a pool, has petitioned the police alleging conspiracy. The family stated that their daughter was a victim of conspiracy and internal murder. Recall that Chinyere was said to have gone clubbing in DFM nightclub at Cosmila Hotel in July 16, but only to be found dead in an abandoned swimming pool in the premises the following morning. The Awuda family said in the petition to the State Commissioner of Police through their lawyer Eziafa Ewodo of Rigota Chambers, said their daughter was murdered by a killer without resistance by the hotel management. Family of woman beaten to death in Oka Hotel petition police. Okay, let's take a last story from Daily Trust before moving on to another newspaper. Boko Haram security beefed up as Atiku residence. Boko Haram security beefed up at Atiku's residence. Okay, the former security has been beefed up at the residence of former Vice President Atiku Abubakar in Dugere area in Yola, Adamawa State Capital. Daily Trust recalled that the police had on Sunday arrested 4 persons suspected to be Boko Haram members who allegedly planned an attack on the residence of the People's Democratic Party presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar. When Daily Trust visited the neighborhood on Tuesday, people looked calm and showed no signs of fear as corner shops opened and residents went about their businesses. A resident of Dugure Sanama said his wife panicked when they heard the news before a neighbor confronted her that Boko Haram was already degraded and could no longer carry out attack even in Maiduguri, let alone in Yola. Boko Haram security beefed up at Atiku residence. Okay, let's move to another one. Let's come to the south. From the south, you will see the Nation newspaper. On the Nation newspaper, you have stories like this. Minister Tinubu more sense, ex-governors, technocrat, others. Okay, also you will see the picture of the lean former CBN governor, Godwin Emefiele, being held by the hands by a female there, and also the drama between the security agents slugging it out there. Okay, cash surge into economy forces interest rate hike. Federal government has raised $500 million for food sufficiency, says Shetima. Emefiele rearrested in court over interagency brawl. Page 29. These and few others is what you will see on the Nation newspaper has been published today. Okay, giving attention to the story one after the other. Let's look at the stories that made headline first. Minister Tinubu Moore's SAN, ex-governors, technocrat, others. The shape of President Bola Tinubu's cabinet became clearer last night. the Northwest, and others from South and Southwest geopolitical zones. A prominent senior advocate of Nigerian San, who is from North Central, tops the pack of technocrats being considered by the president. These include top bankers, economists, health professionals, and experts in the areas of endeavor. Former senator, professional women, and politicians are also among the president's men and women. Some among the 10 special advisors to the president will be nominated as minister, it was learned. In the same vein, Senate leader Okoyemi Bamidele said yesterday that President Tinubu's ministerial list will get to the Senate tomorrow. Bamidele, Ekiti Central, said the president had decided to spend more time in the last 48 hours to tinker with the list. Ministers, Tinubu Malls, SAN, ex-governor, technocrat, others. The Nation is reporting details of that story. Cash surge into economic forces, interest rate hike. The Monetary Policy Committee (MPC) of the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) has raised the interest rate to 18.75%. This is according to the CBN Governor, Mr. Folorin Shonubi, who spoke at the end of the July Monetary Policy Committee (MPC) meeting in Abuja yesterday. He said members of the MPC took the decision because of expected liquidity injection into the economy from the recent policy development and likely impact of inflation. Members noted that they need to continue to support investment, which will ultimately lead to the recovery of output growth. Cash surge into economic forces, interest rate hike. That is on the Nation newspaper. Okay, also on the Nation newspaper, Atiku, PDP confused, President tells Tribunal. The People's Democratic Party, PDP, and its presidential candidate, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, are unsure of what they want from the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal, PEPC, President Bola Tinubu has said. President Tinubu, in his reply to Atiku and the PDP final address, said this explained their contradictory prayers. The flag bearers of All Progressive Congress APC was declared the winner of the February 25 elections after scoring 8,794,726 votes. Dissatisfied with the election's outcome, the PDP and Abubakar Atiku and Peter Obi of the Labour Party candidate are challenging Tinubu's victory. According to the Electoral Act, the tribunal has 180 days to determine the petitions, meaning the court is expected to round off all activities on all before September 16. Atiku, PDP confused, President tells court. Okay, let's look for one story more. President meets Adamu Omishore. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has met with immediate past national chairman and secretary of the ruling All Progressive Congress APC, Senator Abdullahi Adamu, and Senator Yola Omishore at the presidential villa in Abuja. Adamu and Omishore reportedly resigned their position early last week ahead of the scheduled National Caucus and National Executive Council NEC meeting of the party, which were to be held on July 18 and 19. President Tinubu, who is the leader of the party, is granted a lot of leverage and influence within the rank of the APC and is expected to determine a lot about the party's leadership. Though nothing could be officially confirmed about the reason for the visit, the Nation learned that it might be part of effort to sort out issues surrounding the party's leadership. President meets Adamu Omishore. The Nation has the details. We'll go for a commercial break. When we'll come back, we'll look at the two other newspapers we have left on our shelf this morning on Freshlight. Do stay with us.
Have been disappointed severally to seek greener pasture abroad. To those quack in the traveling agency business, it is a rocket science. That is not our case. Our town staff travels and delve deeply without stress, help you process and secure your visa to anywhere in the world. Do you want permanent residential and tourism visa, student visa to places like Europe, America, Asia, Africa? It's our Tau Staff Travels on Tour. Our years of expertise speaks volumes for us. Let's process and secure visa for you to UK and Canada of an eye. We offer Hajj and Umrah services to our Muslim faithfuls. What are you waiting for? Consult us at number 9 South of Central Mosque, Sholanke Street, behind Roy Hotel, Abiola Way. 0802 733 0900 or 0806 578 4060. Stop wasting money. Pay for peace of mind. Thousands have been disappointed severally in the
gbayì tó fẹ́ wọṣọ yìí ṣoge tó bágbàmú ló ń kọjá lọ sí House of Zion. House of Zion, name I know when we talk of top-notch fashion, quality materials and cloth. Ti máa rojúlówó Turkey wears, Egypt and Malaysia clothing. Buy designer bashirishi, àwọn ìtẹ̀lẹ̀ bàtà tó jiná tí wọ́n fawọ́ original jọ tó ń ka wákàtí ọjọ́, designer sunglasses and perfumes pẹ̀lú àwọn gbogbo nǹkan tóbìnrin àti fẹ́ lò gbà. Mo ṣe kámi èmi ni ó gbogbo ẹ̀yin mùsùlùmí ẹlẹ́sìn tẹ́ gbòógì gbọ́n pa fashion tẹ́ wá nílò jàlá bí àbáyà ló ṣe. House of Zion lẹ́ò ti rí gbogbo ẹ̀ rà. House of the two ọlọ́run ṣògo road and church Agape parish ọlọ́run ṣògo Abẹ́òkúta. Lórí Instagram House of Zion 08165688618. House of Zion ilé ìtajà ta tí ń tojúlówó aṣọ àti nǹkan aṣègbèní níyì.
It gladdens our heart that you're still out there listening to us on Al-IyamoyeTv and radio. Freshlight continues, where we will parade Vanguard and the Punch newspaper. On Vanguard, you will see, yes, the same drama that is available on all other newspapers this morning. The picture of Emefiele and also the DSS and the National Nigerian Security Correction Centers slugging it out over who should take the custody of Emefiele. Okay, on Vanguard cover, you will see DSS men, prison officials in free-for-all over Emefiele. Drama on FCC commissioners accused chairman of employment racketeering. Court affirms Konja, NAMDA registrations as trade unions. Tinubu to send ministerial list to us in 48 hours. Senate. NAS moves against electricity tariff hike, estimated billing. That is what is available on Vanguard newspaper this morning. Let's quickly look at the stories around the story of interest in Vanguard newspaper. DSS men, prison officials in free-for-all fight over Emefiele. 46 days after he was arrested by the Department of State Services, DSS, and 2 weeks after a federal high court in Abuja gave an order for his release or arraignment for any offenses he might have allegedly committed. Suspended Central Bank Governor Mr. Godwin Emefiele was yesterday arraigned for illegal possessions of firearms and granted bail by the Federal High Court sitting in Lagos. Emefiele arraignment was, however, a matching drama following a scuffle between DSS operatives and the officials of the Nigerian Prison Services over which of the agencies should take custody of Emefiele after he was granted bail with a sum of 20 million naira by Justice Nicholas Oweibo. The scuffle between the two agencies later culminated into a free-for-all as the armed squad commander of the MPS, William Udom, who had gone to give tactical support to the prison officials in the court premises, was mad-handed and his service uniform was torn. It took the intervention of a senior female DSS official who arrived at the scene house after the standoff, had a brief chat with the NCOS officials and operatives to douse the tension. This paved way for the DSS to rearrest Emefiele immediately after he stepped out of the courtroom. DSS men, prison officials in free-for-all over Emefiele. Isn't that shameful? You will ask for security operatives to fight over who should be in custody of Emefiele. What that tells us is that Emefiele is still in custody of a huge amount of money that all these court officials are fighting over. Okay, let's look at also this. Breaking. NLC issues August 2 nationwide strike notice. NLC issues August 2 nationwide notice. That is breaking news from Vanguard newspaper this morning. The Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, has given the federal government a 7-day ultimatum to reverse all perceived anti-poor policies, including the recent hike in the pump price of petrol, or face an indefinite nationwide strike for August 2nd. Consequently, the NLC has directed all its affiliates and state councils to immediately begin mobilizations of workers and other Nigerians, including civil society allies, for a long-lasting strike and mass protest should the government fail to meet its demand. Vanguard gathered that it was one of the decisions reached at the NLC Central Working Committee meeting held on Tuesday, July 25 at Abuja Labour House. Okay, you can get to read details of that story on Vanguard newspaper this morning. Let's also give attention to another news on Vanguard newspaper has been published today. Tinubu in seclusion. I will send list of ministerial nominees within 48 hours. Senate. The Senate has declared that President Bola Tinubu will make available the much expected list of ministerial nominees within the next 48 hours, adding that the president had gone into hiding to avoid undue influence. The Senate also urged Nigerians to pray for Tinubu to be able to make the right decision within the next 24 hours so that Nigerians will be happy with the list of ministers at the end of the day. According to the Senate, the list will be received in the next 24 hours and that the president decided to go into hiding for the next 48 hours to enable him come up with a list of nominees that will be acceptable to all Nigerians. It was disclosed on Tuesday by the Senate leader, Senator Opeyemi Bamidele, APC Ekiti Central, at his 60th birthday anniversary lecture and presentation of 2 books on leadership communication at the Yaradua Center, Abuja. Tinubu in seclusion will send list of ministerial nominees within 48 hours. Let's take a last story from the Vanguard before moving on to another newspaper has been published today. And that is one on the entertainment column. Nollywood actors plan to storm America for International Film Festival. Nollywood actors under the aegis of the Actors Guild of Nigeria, AGN, have set plans in motion to storm Miami, the United States, for their first ever International Film Festival. The film festival is built to hold from November 9 to 11, 2023 in Miami, Florida. Announcing this development at the press conference held in Lagos Tuesday, the national president of the Guild, Mr. Emeka Rollers, said reality TV star Nassim Sime and US-based actor Joseph Benjamin will host the 3-day festival, which is expected to have over 70 Nollywood actors in attendance. Nollywood actors plan to storm America for International Film Festival. The Vanguard has the details. The last paper for today, which is the Punch newspaper. CBN vowed to tackle forex pressure, raises lending rates. That you will see on the cover page of the Punch newspaper. Nigerians demand reforms as Tinubu summit ministerial list. Riders like technocrats said to dominate list. Tinubu sought prayers to make right choices. Senate leader. NBA tax appointees on security. APC headers film over Jonathan's bid. Move to pick Bayelsa candidate. Adamu Omishore met Tinubu for reconciliation. Lagos Okada riders accuse policemen of extortion. These, among others, is what you will see on the cover page of Punch newspaper. Going into the details of the paper this morning, let's quickly look at Nigeria demands reform as Tinubu submits ministerial list. Nigerians have demanded economic growth as President Bola Tinubu is expected to submit the much-awaited ministerial list to the National Assembly in the next 24 hours for screening. A presidential aide who demanded anonymity in a chat with the Punch on Tuesday said the president stretched the submission of the list to the last days to ensure that the list was inclusive and reflective of what was best for the country. The list, which is expected to be a mixture of technocrats and tested politicians, the source review, would have more technocrats who would help drive the president's renewed hope agenda for the next 4 years. Tinubu demands reforms. Nigerians demand reforms as Tinubu submit ministerial list. CBN vowed to tackle forex pressure raises lending rate. The acting governor, Central Bank of Nigeria, Folashodun Shonubi, has said that the bank will address the demand pressure on the country's exchange rate as the naira continues to slide against the dollar. He gave the assurance while answering questions from the journalist at the two-day monetary policy committee that ended in Abuja on Tuesday. Which within 1 week, the naira fell to the dollar from $820 to $870 per dollar at the parallel market on Tuesday. Since the unification of the exchange rate in the country, the naira has continued to depreciate amid worsening inflation, rising fuel costs, and other challenges in the country. CBN vowed to tackle forex pressure, raises lending rates. That is on Punch newspaper. Let's go to the Metro page of Punch newspaper. Borno police arrest 2 ladies, 8 others for killing cop. The suspect, men of the Borno State Police Command, have arrested 10 persons for allegedly killing a police constable in Maiduguri, the state capital. The suspect, 2 females and 8 males, with their names mentioned, were alleged to have killed a cop. The slain constable, Babangana Mala, was attached to the command's police GRAP unit and deployed to Malari, the Konduga local government area of the state. The State Commissioner of Police, Muhammad Yusufu, who paraded the suspect before journalists at the command headquarters on Tuesday, said the incident occurred along the artillery area, Maiduguri, around 4:27 p.m. on Sunday. Borno police arrest 2 ladies, 8 others for killing cop. Okay, also, Jayelo ignore calls for apology, Soyinka tells Davido. Nobel laureate Professor Wole Soyinka has urged Nigeria's Afrobeat star Davido to ignore calls demanding his apology over the controversial music video he posted on his social media platforms. The Punch reported that Davido Music Worldwide, label boss, and his signee Olamilekan Taiwo aka Logos Olori caused a stir online, sparkling mixed reaction from netizens following the release of the latest new record, Jayelo. A 45-second clip of the new video posted Friday on Instagram by Davido has since attracted criticism. Many Muslim devotees have labeled the video offensive and are calling for a retraction, while also threatening the artist with a lawsuit. To read details of that, pick up a copy of Punch newspaper and go to the entertainment column. And lastly, on sports page, you will see PSG to offer Osimhen 43 billion naira. Did I say naira? Yes. PSG to offer Osimhen 43 billion naira. Nigerian striker Victor Osimhen is expected to earn 50 million euro, about 43 billion naira, if he makes the move to French giant Paris Saint-Germain in his transfer window. Napoli owner Aguero expects to receive $1 million offer for the player and has credited PSG as the only club that can afford the Nigerian international. Other top clubs like Real Madrid, Manchester United, and Bayern Munich have pulled out of the negotiations for Osimhen due to Laurentiis' high asking price. Punch Extra had reported last week that PSG had already made an offer of 120 million euro for Osimhen within the Serie A champions which the Serie A champions have already rejected. PSG to offer Osimhen 43 billion naira. That is available on the sports page of Punch newspaper. On that note, I say thank you for being our guest on Freshlight this lovely Wednesday morning. Let's do it again together tomorrow, the same time, where we'll be taking fresh headlines from our fresh newspapers on Freshlight on Al-IyamoyeTv and radio. You can join us on social media handle, yes, on our Facebook at AJIBOLA, on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. We are there. Kindly follow us and subscribe to our YouTube page, where you can get to see us every time. Good morning and enjoy the rest of your day. I remain OLUWAFISAYOMI, AJIBOLA.